What's up, Ragin Nation? How's it going? This is Alex Yu, and you're watching the Ragin Nation Toy Show. This is just a web series where we talk about toys and collectibles that matter to me. This is episode number 4, and the first thing I want to do is say thank you to everybody who has been watching this brand new series, the Ragin Nation Toy Show. I've always wanted to have a web series that is dedicated to toys and collectibles because, as you already know, I'm a collector. You guys haven't really seen my collection. I know a lot of you guys really want to see my collection. That is finally happening. I'm going to be shooting in a brand new studio space, and you're going to be able to see all the crazy toys that I have. A lot of expensive stuff, and I'm so excited to show them all to you. So make sure you stay subscribed to this channel because there's a lot of unboxings to do, because I know you guys have seen before that a lot of my stuff is kept in boxes, and it's kept in boxes mainly because I have nowhere to display it. But finally, I'm moving into my own place. Lots of surfaces, a lot of display shelves, and finally those wonderful collectibles are coming out of their boxes. Anyways, let's get on with this episode. This episode is about Thundercracker and Toys R Us. We're going to start off by talking about Thundercracker, and by Thundercracker specifically, I'm talking about the new Transformers movie studio series that is coming from Takara and Hasbro, but there's a Toys R Us exclusive, and that is Thundercracker. Now, if you don't already know, Thundercracker was not a character that was in any of the films. There were 5 films that are out. Thundercracker never appeared, but in the toy lines, they've always included characters in the lines that didn't appear in the movies, just because, of course, they want to really milk the series. They want to milk the toy lines, and if there wasn't enough characters, they would just throw characters in. Well, Thundercracker is one of those characters. All he is a retooling and repaint of Nitro from Transformers Last Night. They repainted him to the Thundercracker paint scheme with the blue and the gray, and then they gave him a brand new head. So this is what he looks like as a robot mode, and this is what it looks like in the jet mode. And I think this is a very, very good looking figure, and I'm looking forward to get this one. The thing is that it's a Toys R Us exclusive, which makes it hard to get, because if you don't already know, the Toys R Us stores are closing down. We're going to talk a little bit more about that. So I started looking on eBay, and I was wondering how much is it going for on eBay. Now, this is an eBay auction for the Studio Series Thundercracker that I saw a week ago. Now, this was taken a week ago. There were 21 bids, and it was at 86 US dollars. Okay, that's pretty insane. That's a lot of money for a Voyager class. That's more than double. That's like triple, okay? And then I decided to look up other auctions, and this guy had a buy it now for 150 US dollars. Isn't that insane? Can you believe it? That is more than, what is it, like 6 times? That's 6 times the cost. That is 6 times. Someone is making some good money by selling that. But if you really want it, you're gonna pay a price, right? So I decided to look up what is the current going rate for this Thundercracker, this Studio Series Thundercracker from that's a Toys R Us exclusive. So in the current listings that are currently active right now, these are active eBay auctions. We have ones for 78 US with 2 bids on it, 56 US 4 bids, another 52 with 0 bids with $120 buy it now, a $61 with 2 bids, and $86 with 12 bids. That is crazy. I mean, this is a highly sought after item. And then I want to look at some of the closed and completed auctions, the auctions that have been sold. Now, these are auctions that ended and actually ended with a buyer. Let's take a look at this. Now, these are some insane prices. $75, $150. Someone just clicked that buy it now, and he went with it. This one says $150, but with a cross, it means that he went for the offer. He accepted an offer. I don't know what that offer is, but it was $150. Might be a little bit less than that. $110 with the offer accepted. 96, 65 buy now, 75 buy now, 70 buy now, 110 buy now, 70, 70, and 65, 65, 60, 60, 50, 50, and $160. At the bottom there, $160. Somebody actually bought it for that price. That is insane. And that one ended like 7 days ago, or 9 days ago on March 7th. So back then the price fluctuated anywhere between $50 to $160. I don't know what it's going to be like now. Maybe more are coming out. But I remember in the first week that it came out, the price was crazy. And that was just like a little bit over a week ago. But now it's possible that more are coming out, so therefore the price is going down. Nobody knows how much lower it's going to go down. And nobody knows if we're going to see more of them later on, like if we're going to see any at all on the shelves. But the fact is that Toys R Us is closing down, so the probability of finding this movie studio series, Thundercracker, that's a Toys R Us exclusive, is going to be harder as the days go by. And that's why it commands such ridiculous prices. I want to get my hands on this, but I don't want to be paying prices like that. So let's talk about the Toys R Us closure. Now, this is a very, very unfortunate and sad thing. They got a lot of debt. They declared bankruptcy, and it's happening. It is really, really happening. This is something that was discussed like last year, and it's finally happening. Check out this, the Washington Post. This headline reads, Toys R Us to close all 800 of its U.S. stores. All 800 of its U.S. stores closing down. No more toy hunting in the United States. That's going to really, really suck. So this is really sad. I know a lot of people had a lot of great memories going into Toys R Us. Now, what about other parts of the world? The Telegraph reports all Toys R Us stores expected to close in the next 6 weeks after failed sale talks. And now this is the UK. The entire Toys R Us UK store portfolio is expected to close in the next 6 weeks after retailer collapsed into administration last month, with reports suggesting this evening all U.S. stores are also set to close and be sold. Administrators Moorefield were appointed to wind down the UK arm of the retailer on February 28, but it failed to attract a buyer for its 100 UK stores. So there's 100 UK stores, and they're all closing down. Now, what about Australia? Daily Mail reports bankrupt retail giant Toys R Us closes down overseas, spelling the end for 39 branches in Australia and putting nearly 3,000 employees out of work. This really sucks for a lot of employees. A lot of employees working there for many, many years. They're going to be out of work. This really, really sucks. I mean, walking into a Toys R Us is it's a thing, you know. It's not just going into a toy store. There's a tradition about it. There's just something to marvel about going into a Toys R Us. I mean, even as a kid or even as an adult who grew up going to Toys R Us for many, many years, it brings back a lot of memories. There's a lot of sentimental value there. I mean, just going into a store and just looking around. You don't even have to buy anything, but just being able to walk around the stores. Now, this is reports for US, UK, and Australia. What about Canada? I haven't read very much about this, but check this out. I just read this. This was from a tweet. Toys R Us continues normal business operations across Canada. Please see a message from our president, Melanie Teen Merch. Click here for more information. But anyways, it says it's going to continue business as normal. The funny thing is that when I went into Toys R Us's in the stores in Vancouver where I live, I went to 3 different stores and none of them have any mention of them closing. No closing out sale. The shelves are not poorly stocked. They are actually quite stocked, but they're replenishing them. And there's no sign of any of it suggesting that they're going out of business. And check out this new headline. This is from thestar.com. Toys R Us in negotiations to sell Canadian business as opposed to closing down. All 740 Toys R Us stores in the U.S. are set to close, but there is a hope for a deal that would preserve Canadian operations. The company has 82 stores across Canada and began operating in 1983. Toys R Us in the U.S. is actively pursuing a deal that would preserve the 82-store operation in Canada, according to a statement from Toys R Us Canada issued Thursday. Toys R Us Canada business management in Canada operates autonomously from U.S. operations, continues to be a stable and profitable, keyword being profitable, market leader in Canada, according to a statement from the company issued the same day that its U.S. parent was to appear in court seeking close of all 740 U.S. stores in the coming months, putting some 30,000 people out of work. So even though, you know, the U.S. Company is seeking to close down, and the same day the Canadian branches are seeking to continue business and sell the company. So the company could be sold and operated under an entirely different parent company. So that's good news for Canadians, Canadian collectors. That's a wonderful thing. No wonder I didn't read very much about it, because I did ask people and they said that we're doing fine. We're continuing business as usual. And I thought they were just saying that because they didn't want to alarm anybody. They didn't want people to know what exactly is going on, because there's maybe more to the story. And it turns out there is more to the story. So it looks like, I guess, maybe that American collectors that are living close to the border to come up to Canada looking for toys. So that could totally happen. I mean, for me as a Canadian living close to the border, I love driving down to the United States to go to various Toys R Us's because a lot of the American Toys R Us's always had a much better selection than the Canadian Toys R Us's. Now it looks like it could be the other way around. Anyways, this is all very sad. This is very, very unfortunate. I mean, I love going to the United States and going to different Toys R Us's. So even as a Canadian, it's unfortunate that all these stores that are outside of Canada are closing and filing for bankruptcy, and it's just a lot of people are going to be out of jobs. This really, really sucks. So apparently the Toys R Us stores in Asia are also doing just fine. I've been in Toys R Us stores in Hong Kong. I've been in Toys R Us stores in Japan. There's a lot of people buying toys. I mean, it's not like any of the Toys R Us is here, where it could be dead at some points throughout the year. They are freaking busy. People are really spending money, and they got a lot of spending power there. So I think they're going to do just fine. But what is going to happen to the future of Toys R Us? Is it just going to be online? Is it going to be just Canada only, or what is going to happen? Let me know what your thoughts on what is going on in the comment section below, and also let me know. Where do you shop for toys? I mean, now that Toys R Us is going to close, where are you going to shop for toys? Of course, there's going to be Target. There's going to be Walmart. For me, if Toys R Us were to close, all I have left is Walmart. That's all I have, and Amazon and online retailers. That's all I have, as well as, of course, my favorite Transformers retailer, ages3up.com. But at the end of the day, I'm going to end up getting most of my stuff online if Toys R Us does close in Canada. But it looks like we're gonna still see the operations to continue, which is a great thing. Anyways, that's all I got to say in this episode. I just wanted to share with you my thoughts about the Toys R Us closure, as well as how much Thundercracker goes for. I mean, these are disgusting prices. I just want to get my hands on it so I can open it up and play with it and add to my collection of my Transformers movie toys, but not at that price. But I still do want it. I don't know what I'm going to do. I mean, I'll wait a little bit and then see if it goes down in price. I mean, I just want to pay retail like a lot of other people. But then again, if this is my only choice, I'll pay a little bit more than retail. I do have my limits though. I'll pay 160 US for that. Yeah, that ain't right. Nobody would believe that is right. I mean, there you have it. Anyways, that's all I got to say in this episode. I need to blow my nose. Allergies. Springtime is coming. It's really warm right now. Springtime is coming. I got seasonal allergies. And yeah. Anyways, as always, if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more, hit that like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Like me on Facebook, The Ragin Nation. Also follow me on Twitter, Ragin Nation. My name is Alex. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Peace.